Yes, hello, my beautiful friends. It is an amazing day. Very grateful that you are here and with us today. We've got some news to attend to because Kamala has completed her interview and it wasn't ideal. She's telling us about deadlines and time. It's about to get really Kamala in the house, which is not good for our brains. But we're going to go through it because there's already clips floating of Kamala, and we're asking ourselves if this is the best that they've got on this little co-parenting thing with Kamala, where they bring in Dad Walz and Mom Dana, and they ask her these very simple questions to see if she can just kind of limp her way through the interview. Well, that's what happened today. We've got clips and analysis. Apparently, this whole thing was only 18 minutes. And they're not even going to release the transcript or tell us what they clipped out of it. It's going to be edited, obviously. So, pretty pathetic. We'll talk about it. A lot of reaction and other things happening today, including some shifts in the polls and some debate updates because Kamala Harris is apparently still fighting to have the microphones turned on. So she wants the rules to change from what they were with Joe Biden. With Joe Biden, the microphones were off. And then Kamala said, honor those terms. And now she wants to change those terms. And so they're still fighting over this, apparently. We thought that the terms were settled and done, but no. Kamala's people are still fighting back. J.D. Vance was also out and about campaigning, and the Kamala Walz couple, the VP and the new VP nominee, were out at a high school, and they were talking to people like they were 4-year-olds or toddlers. You're all leaders of our world, said Kamala. Okay, so we'll talk about it. Then, one of the biggest consequences of Kamala's horrific reign as the vice president over the last 3 years has been the border, which is wide open, as we know here in Arizona and elsewhere, including in New York and LA and Houston and all sorts of other cities that maybe aren't necessarily border cities, like in New York, are now feeling the pain of immigration. But other cities that are not right on the border, like Aurora, Colorado, apparently they've been taken over by Venezuela. So it's Venezuela now. Welcome to Venezuela. It's not good. Apparently, they've taken over multiple apartment buildings, commandeered them. It's little Venezuela now. So just get used to it, Colorado, I guess, and the rest of America. Coming soon to a town near you. Thanks to Kamala Harris. Well, we're going to talk about it. It's not just that they took over buildings, literal Venezuelan gangs armed with weapons taking over buildings, like entire buildings. That's our building now. They're also apparently hopping on school buses, and kids are just on the way to school, and then suddenly little Johnny's trip to the 4th grade is now little Johnny's trafficking of humans and drugs to Mrs. Thompson classroom. Not good. Johnny is a co-conspirator now. He was just learning his multiplication tables, but he's going to be multiplying crack. All right, so we are going to get through some of that today, and then we'll, of course, see what you have to say about it. We'll also see if there's any other clips that drop from the interview, and if anything else breaks today. So it's going to be a great stream. Very glad that you're here and with us, my friends. It's a beautiful Thursday. Hopefully the week is unfolding oh so beautifully for you. Tomorrow is Friday, and it's going to be a great Friday, no doubt about it. But before we get into any of the business on the day, you know what we got to check in on. Very important items regarding our preparation. And so it's time, America, that we listen up. The world is getting more unpredictable by the day. We've got assassination attempts rumors of civil war, an unstable stock market, and now the looming threat of the bird flu is on everyone's minds. But did you know that there's a bird flu summit coming up in October? It's reminiscent of Event 201 that foreshadowed the COVID sitch. And get this, the first topic on the agenda is mass fatality management planning. If that doesn't send a chill down your spine, well, I don't know what will. But here's the good news. You don't have to be scared if you're prepared. The wellness company created the medical emergency kit, and every home in America should have at least one of these babies. They're packed with life-saving meds like ivermectin, hydroxychloroquine, antibiotics, amoxicillin, Z-Paks, all backed by experts like Dr. Peter McCullough. And so imagine this. No more frantic searches for a doctor. No more emergency room waiting rooms. Just a few clicks. Delivered to your front door. In times like these, having your medical emergency kit, it's not just a luxury, it's a necessity. And so protect your family by preparing now. Head on over to twc.health/Robert. Use code Robert. You'll save $30. And don't wait until it's too late. Act now. Take control. Ensure you're protected against whatever comes next. twc.health/Robert. Use code Robert. You'll save $30 and you'll get free shipping from our friends at the Wellness Company. And so thanks for supporting them, supporting our sponsors, and for getting prepared in case something happens. You want to be ready to go. All right, so let's get to it, my friends, because we've got other business to attend to. And we've got our comrade Kamala in the house. And so here it is. Kamala sits down for her Comfort Couples Bring Your Governor to Work Day therapy session with Governor Walz and Dana Bash, who is a very rabid anti-Trumper who does not like him at all and was ashamed and disappointed that the Supreme Court kept him on the ballot. Remember that situation? Well, she brought in her friends Kamala and Tim Walz, and they sat down together for this little conversation. It's only been 5 weeks since this entire campaign started, when she was cooed in there. They stabbed Joe Biden in the back like Brutus, and then she is now in charge. Well, for some reason, she couldn't do it alone. This historic figure who is so competent and capable that she can lead America through all our turbulent times in the world is now bringing in her emotional support governor. I was expecting to see a little vest around him that said service animal, service vice presidential candidate. I'm allowed to be here. He's allowed to be here. I have my paperwork. He's got a vest on. Don't touch him. All right, so they show up here. And what's so shocking about this very first question that comes out of Dana's mouth that they've clipped for us here, I don't know if this was the opening question. And are these used coffee mugs back here? Are these place settings? What's going on here? Is this used or just place settings? All right. Point is, the first question from Dana is for Kamala that they released to us. It's a multiple choice. Listen to this. She goes and says, okay, Kamala, look, this is going to be very complicated for you. I'm going to give you a couple options here. Option A or option B. Can you just pick one, please? Just don't screw it up. Please don't screw it up. I'm going to give you two choices. Option 1 or option 2, Kamala. Don't screw it up. Here's CNN going after it today.
Speaking, how should voters look at some of the changes that you've made, that you've explained some of here in your policy?
Let's boost this audio a bit and really listen to this, because you can even hear some of the trepidation, shall I say, in Dana's voice. Even Trump doesn't know how to say it. No one does. It's a little concern, like, I'm asking a difficult question. Oh, no.
Generally speaking, how should voters look at some of the changes that you've made, that you've explained some of here in your policy? Is it because you have more experience now and you've learned more about the information? Is it because you were running for president in a Democratic primary? And should they feel comfortable and confident that what you're saying now is going to be your policy moving forward?
Dana, I think the most important and most significant aspect of my policy perspective and decisions is my values have not changed. You mentioned the Green New Deal. I have always believed, and I have worked on it, that the climate crisis is real, that it is an urgent matter to which we should apply metrics that include holding ourselves to deadlines around time. We did that with the Inflation Reduction Act. We have set goals for the United States of America and by extension the globe around when we should meet certain standards for reduction of greenhouse gas emissions, as an example. That value has not changed.
Okay, so you see what she's trying to do is take the high road, right? Nothing has actually changed about me. It's just the implementation of all my policies are totally different. I wanted this, and now I don't. But I'm the same person, so I understand it strategically. What's so problematic about this clip, beside the fact that she's referring to deadlines around time, which are usually how you schedule deadlines around time. But we're glad she clarified that for us. And she then goes off into her environmental stuff and doesn't clarify anything about her current policies other than we got to reduce greenhouse gases, right? Platitudes, as we long suspected. But what's so curious about this is the silver platter question from Dana delivered to her. Will you pick one of these two, please, for crying out loud? You're too dumb to answer a question with a open forum. You remember the difference of these. We all prefer multiple choice questions, right? It's very easy. Just, okay, I don't have to think too much. If I only studied like the night before, I can usually do okay. That's definitely wrong. That's definitely wrong. Get it between two. Maybe it's A or C. I don't know. And then go for it. But if you got to explain it, write a short answer on this one. Hey, Kamala, write a short answer on this. Oh, panic. She can't do that. So multiple choice. Dana from CNN is very convenient, very cordial, very accommodating. Here you go. Just pick one. And then she goes off into some tirade about timelines and deadlines. All right. Now, what's also curious about this is her eye contact, looking down. Doesn't look like she has any notes on there, but then you have this kind of sheepish look back up at the individual, right? So no notes. We see Dana has some notes. Tim Walz is there, looking much more imposing than she does. And she doesn't convey a lot of confidence in this message. Looks like she's kind of struggling a bit. So it's an interesting exchange. There's one other one that came out, and CNN posted two of these saying that they're going to be releasing this later in a wide-ranging first interview. Wide-ranging. How long was it? Let's see how long it was. Wide-ranging first interview. These propagandists are insane. It was 18 minutes is what we're being told. The U.S. VP says she'd name a Republican for her cabinet, and she brushes off Trump's attacks. She explained why her positions have changed. And then I'm presuming she got away with that, right? She didn't zoom in on this. Well, tell us about the difference in fracking, because one value is about saving the planet. The other is about, I guess, creating jobs. And you can say, like you said, it was never going to happen. Never fracking anything except Willie Brown. Hey, but it's a non-starter, and then suddenly it's a starter. So how do your values change? Can you describe those values? What is that? Now, here's that second clip from Comrade Kamala, clipped from Curtis Hook. He shared this one. CNN also had this clip posted.
You had a lot of Republican speakers.
And let's volumize this puppy for ourselves here so we can hear what's going on.
You had a lot of Republican speakers at the convention. Will you appoint a Republican to your cabinet?
Yes, I would.
Anyone in mind?
Yes, I would. No one in particular in mind. We got 68 days to go with this election, so I'm not putting the cart before the horse. But I would. I think it's really important. I have spent my career inviting diversity of opinion. I think it's important to have people at the table when some of the most important decisions are being made that have different views, different experiences. And I think it would be to the benefit of the American public to have a member of my cabinet who was a Republican.
Okay, so that's very curious. As far as we know, about like 96% of her staff was turned over during her VP term. And so part of the diversity is having no staff for long terms, new people constantly, because no one wants to stick around and be involved in it. So it's another stupid question. Would you play a Republican? And they're trying to combat the Kennedy endorsement and the Shanahan endorsement and the confirmation from Jill Stein and Cornel West that the DNC and the Democratic Party are cheaters and bullies. And it's not just Trump saying that. $10 million invested by RFK to defend himself. Jill Stein can't even get on the ballot because these people are sick. So Kamala is out there, and that is what we see from CNN, those two excerpts. Jason Miller, who of course is someone who is a senior advisor over for President Trump, as you see here at Jason Miller in DC, a follow for good information about what's happening from the Trump campaign. He says, we're hearing that CNN is not going to be releasing the full transcript of the 18 minutes total of the interview with Kamala Harris and human blocking dummy, Coach Walz. What's being cut out of this interview? It's probably the Venn diagram talk, I would have to guess. Or the unburdened by what's been burdened in your burden. You know, whatever that one was. That's one of her other lines. So the full interview will be out, and I'm sure there will be a lot more reaction to that. But CNN has released those clips. Here's what they tell us. They say Kamala offered her most expansive explanation to date on why she's changed her position on fracking and immigration. Right. Telling CNN on Thursday her values haven't shifted, but that her time as vice president provided new perspective on some of the country's most pressing issues. Trump's race jab. Now, so I guess they asked about her. How does it feel to be attacked by Trump? By a racist bigot, Trump. How does it feel, Kamala? Tell us about it, says Dana. Very hard-hitting question. Says, Harris said that she would name a Republican to serve on her cabinet if elected. She's also brushed off Trump's questioning of her race. And others, apparently. A lot of people are asking that question, not just Trump. We've seen the man on the street interviews from Don Lemon. He's out there even talking to people, you know, even in various locations throughout the country, it's a repeat question. The full interview with Harris and her running mate, Governor Tim Walz, their first will air tonight. And so that's what happened there. Now, we also are seeing that there is a shift afoot out there, and this is catching a lot of attention right now. So you're seeing this, Fox News and CNN, a lot of other people are pulling this one out. They're saying, uh-oh, there's a little bit of a shift happening here. From the Silver Bulletin, this is from Nate Silver. And Nate Silver, as you know, is a pollster that a lot of people rely on. He nailed it with Obama and has been in the spotlight ever since. And here's what he said on X today. He said, you know, there's a weird update today. Weird. Harris ticked up slightly in our national polling average, but she lost ground in our forecast and is now under 50% versus Trump. Oh, that's weird. Now, one reason for that is the model's convention bounce adjustment, which affects the forecast but not the average. Weird update indeed. Here's what the report says. It says, all right, last update as of Thursday, 12:30 p.m. says, look, although we wouldn't advise worrying too much, right, because the left flipped out about it, they had Kamala up 52 to 48, Kamala on top of the election. One way versus a 48-52 race the other way, where Trump's winning. Says it's not a big difference, okay, so don't freak out. Now, this wasn't a good day for Kamala, though, in our model, as Donald Trump is now the slight favorite for the first time since August 3rd. Oh, dun, dun, dun. Now, there's one big reason for that, he says, Pennsylvania, which is the tipping point state more than 1/3 of the time and where it's been quite a while since we've seen a poll showing Harris leading. There are two new polls today showing a tough time there in Pennsylvania. Now, the model is also applying a convention bounce adjustment to Harris's recent numbers, who has made gains in national polls, and you could argue about whether that's the right assumption or not. But the bottom line is that the model has the Electoral College and the popular vote gap opening up again, right? So Trump wins in the Electoral College, but loses the popular vote. And you're seeing a lot of the polls are talking about the popular vote. It's kind of those top raw numbers, but it's about the states, not necessarily the popular vote. That's why we have an electoral college, because we're not a direct democracy. Now, there's now a 17% chance that she wins the popular vote, but not the electoral college, is what the model estimates. So they say, look, let's cut to the chase, all right? Who's going to win? Who's going to win the election? Well, honestly, we don't know. But we can give you our best probabilistic guess. Now, this is the landing page for where these will be. It will always contain the most recent data. The Silver Bulletin polling average are a little fancy. They adjust for all these different things. And so who's ahead in the polls? Kamala Harris is ahead in the polls. But again, we're talking about popular votes, not necessarily the states. And then Pennsylvania, right? Trump is right behind in a lot of the polls. But when they adjust their models, apparently Trump is winning. Stranger things have happened. Most elections are close, and a candidate is rarely out of the running. So here's how our model translates, and they're just going to keep, talking about it. So interesting, right? Trump, and we've been saying this here for a long time, that the Kamala climax is going to, go bye-bye at some point. They're all going to stop, relax with themselves. They haven't been touched by a politician in 3.5 years. They've had Joe Biden, and he's been sniffing everybody. All the Democrats have been awkwarded it out. It's been very strange there in D.C. But now Kamala's here. She's a little less weird, I guess, maybe. And the Democrats are very excited. But once people get to hear from her, they're going to learn that she's not capable of leading our great nation. In fact, she's not even capable of talking to a high school class. She showed up at a school somewhere in Georgia talking to Georgia high schoolers. They were there at Liberty County High School, and listen to this. She was sharing her thoughts on leadership and teamwork, right? People were calling this painful to watch. It's pretty brutal. Walz, a former high school teacher and coach, began the visit on Wednesday. He discussed the importance of education, telling the students they're the future. Then introduced Harris as a really great head coach and the next president. And so here was Jen Psaki. And so these people are talking about how amazing Kamala is and all the things. But here's a little bit of the actual event.
This is what I hope
so Walz comes out,
do.
And we're going to hear them talk here in a little bit. Let's see.
But all of this is part of doing something bigger. And I think having us in here stressing why the Vice President says it often, that education is the key to the middle class, a pathway to the middle class, and it shouldn't burden you with debt to give you an opportunity to get there. So I think when we can get into a public school like this,
okay, clearly
we're
high
able
school
to see
kids.
you and tell you it's not just the teachers here to tell you. They know they do this work. It's not a cliche. This is truly about building towards the future, and you're that future. And so we're in a room like this. It lifts everybody's spirits, it lifts the country's spirits. And Vice President talks about that often, about the positive and the joyful work that we can do and the things that we're trying to make sure happen. So I'm just grateful that you'd have us here. I'm grateful to be part of a team with a really great head coach here in our next President of the United States, Kamala Harris.
All right, so that honestly sounded kind of normal. Sounded like just a dude talking to a classroom of high school kids. Hey guys, sorry to interrupt your day. Great to be here. Thanks so much for the warm welcome. Thanks for bringing us in here. This is really great. What we're doing here is trying to work for your future. Thanks for listening to us, so on, right? It's high school kids. You speak to the audience. Move on. Mostly normal. Talking, I would say, age-appropriate levels. You always adjust your communication to your audience. Kamala does it so much, it's even called code switching now, which she just adopts the accent even, and the slang and all the mannerisms. It's the whole thing she does. She just transmogrifies herself into this new thing. It's wild. But you certainly, in other words, you're going to talk to a judge a little bit differently than you're going to talk to your bros when you're sitting around, around a campfire. It's going to be a little bit of a different conversation. Or you talk to your mother-in-law a little differently than you talk to your, bro or whatever. Little different. So Walz found the frequency of the room and matched it. Let's see how Kamala does. That's their video, by the way, not ours. It's their video. It's broken.
So, I've been hearing about you incredible young leaders for quite some time, from the players to those who are bringing joy to everybody in the stands, to the music that you guys are creating. And so we wanted to come by just to let you know that our country is counting on you. All of you. You are leaders. By the very fact that you all are here in this room, doing what you do at this incredible school, doing it as one big team, understanding all of the different parts that fit together to create a team. You are doing some of the best work any leader can do. And we're so proud of you. And we're counting on you. Your generation, all that you guys stand for, everything you have at stake, is what is going to propel our country into the next era of what we can do and what we can do. And I want to say to you that you must always lead as you have chosen to lead. Understanding you don't have to ask anybody's permission to lead. And I think you all figured that out. You've decided to be a leader. And in doing that, you are also role models, right? Welcome to the role model club. And being a role model, right, means that there are going to be members of your family, people who live in your neighborhood, your classmates who want you to see, oh, that's how it's done.
Yeah.
And in that way, you are showing what hard work can achieve, what discipline can achieve, what teamwork can achieve.
Wow.
And that's the stuff of great leadership. All of you. And so we wanted to come by to remind you that our nation is counting on you. We're so proud of you. Everything you have achieved. And I will tell you, I was in band when I was your age. So I know a little bit about, coach knows about the players, right? And all that you all are doing, it requires a whole lot of rehearsal, a whole lot of practice, long hours, right? Sometimes you hit the note, sometimes you don't.
All right. First of all, watching this, I feel like Governor Walz still seems like the teacher who just has a huge speaker that he's presenting to his classroom.
Yeah, they're cutting away from that. They're like, can someone cut that, please? She's drunk again. No one knows what she's talking about. In fact, those kids are going to renounce their citizenship and all move to Europe. They're like, you know what? I have been thinking about going abroad now. Yeah, we're out of here. Actually, we're out of here. Trip to Europe, we're out of here. Backpacking around Europe. All right, let's get the hell out of here. Yeah, we're not going to be a part of this situation. This lady's nuts. So, all right, now they're all excited about it. Wow, Kamala came out and did color painting choreography to a bunch of high school kids who all realized that she's totally gone. Like, did you hear what she said to us? What grade are we in? You know? Anyways, so we're looking forward to it, okay? And we're grateful that Kamala is out there actually talking to some people. We've been asking for a long time for her to talk to anybody. Legitimately, and that is not a weird, nefarious, sneaky thing. It's like the Democrats get all offensive. You're like, no, we actually just want to hear from your candidate. They're like, why? Why do you want to hear from her? She'll talk when she's ready. We're like, we just want to meet her. Genuinely, like we just want to, let's hear from her. What are her ideas? They might be good. Maybe we'll like some of them. But we actually have to hear from her. So just bring her out. Come on. Bring her out. You're offensive to ask her to do that. No one needs to do, like, relax. We think you're protesting a little bit too much over there. All right, so they're excited about it, even though they cut away from it because she was drunk again. And you see that there are new numbers over from places like Poly Market. The liberals were very excited about this. They were spreading this all around about 2 weeks ago. After Kamala had the bounce and the DNC had the bounce, like, oh, she's ahead all day. So we're going to have this. There's going to be a back and forth. This is an election. But Trump's ahead right now, and so eat it, libs. And so we're enjoying it right now. Now, I'm sure it'll change at some point. Probably not, actually. As more and more people get to know Kamala, I think this is going to continue to go down. And we're thinking by mid-September, all of their climactic excitement will have been spent. Probably. They are, interesting people. So we'll continue to keep our eyes on all of that. Now, as the interview comes out, and as more interviews continue to hopefully get scheduled with Kamala, when she has the courage and the capability to actually do one alone by herself, here are some questions that might be useful to ask of her if Dana doesn't want to give her any more multiple choice questions. Is it option A or is it option B? Well, I'd like a different answer. No, just pick one, or else you're going to lose the election. Here are some questions that came from Nick Gilbertson over at Breitbart. Here's a question for Kamala. Hey, Kamala, price controls generally result in shortages. Are your price controls proposals for groceries? Are they going to create empty aisles and shelves? Yes or no? If you give every first-time home buyer $25,000, won't that raise every home by $25,000? Would a 28% corporate tax rate, as your campaign has pushed, drive more American businesses abroad or not? Why have you changed your position on fracking? Does this undermine the green agenda that Biden and Harris have embraced? You haven't visited the border yet. Have you visited the border yet? If not, why not? I think she would say yes, she did. But we would say she did a drive-by. Do you support her border wall? Because it's in your campaign ads. Does immigration raise housing costs and rent? Or do the immigrants bring houses with them? Do you support decriminalizing illegal entry into the United States, as you've mentioned previously? Your party has claimed the mantle of, quote, defending democracy, but no one ever voted for you. So is that democratic? How do you reconcile this message of freedom, Kamala, when Zuckerberg said that your administration actively pressured Facebook to censor Americans? Oh, here's some good ones. Oh, this would be a good one for her. Do you see Israel as immoral? That question will never be asked. Would you do anything differently than Joe Biden to negotiate the release of the Gaza hostages? Oh, man, her brain would explode. If not, why do you think the same policy has failed under Biden would work under you? What would you do differently? These are like real questions. You have said the United States will support Ukraine. You said as long as it takes. What are your plans to continue aid to Ukraine? Does this mean sending taxpayer dollars to Ukraine for all 4 to 8 years of your presidency if you think it's necessary? Yes. Is there a fixed limit in your mind of how many U.S. taxpayer dollars should go to Ukraine, or is it really as many tax dollars as it takes? It's that latter. It's the same policy as the Republicans, though, so as the GOP. Whatever. It doesn't matter. It's not their money. It's your money. And who gives a damn about you? Donald Trump and Zelensky have long-standing productive relationship and similar backgrounds as entertainment figures. I don't know if that's really a great question, but all right. Questions for Walz. Hey, Walz, you lied and misrepresented your military service. Can you tell me about the false claim that you carried weapons of war in war? You want to give us some details about why you said that? You ran a hotline for Minnesotans to report their neighbors who violated your lockdown orders. How is that compatible with your stupid catchphrase called mind your own damn business, which is obviously not what you do at all? Do you think parents should have a legal say in whether their minor children are put on hormone blockers or given irreversible transgender surgery, or should the state intervene to stop the parents from objecting so they can just neuter your children? And do you have any regrets about the fact that your city got burnt to the ground, engulfed in flames, or were you cool with that? And your wife happy with the smoldering hopes and dreams emanating through the neighborhood? She opened her windows to get a big whiff of it. Oh yes, the peasants are on fire. Perfect. Now, more questions are out about Kamala's actual policies. Does she have any? No. Are they on her website? No, they're not. Do they care? No, because most of the people in the media are covering up for them. But this was a great question and an interjection by Fox News. You can hear it in the background. This one had me cracking up earlier. Let's listen.
$540 million.
And the question is about policies. Why doesn't she have her policies on her website? This is an election. The election's in less than 70 days.
$540 million raised, $82 million in 1 week.
But will you acknowledge that there's no policy page on her website? And so how do people
when
know
did we
what she
start
really
caring
stands
about
for?
policy pages on websites when every single time every time she steps to the podium, she talks about her policy in such a direct way that voters are responding. Those are the people
that border policy is?
Say it one more time.
Can you tell me what her border policy is?
Oh, she said on day one she would sign the bipartisan border legislation that J.D. Vance and Donald Trump has taken credit for killing or not getting across the...
What's her policy on fracking?
She's going to introduce that.
Her anonymous
staffers
have
said
so her interview tonight should give her the opportunity to share whatever policy agenda she wants, and as the process goes along, she will continue to do.
No, she's not going to say anything about her policy agendas. We're hearing from CNN. They asked her multiple choice questions. Did you change your position because you're a political hack? That was option B. Or because you have more experience? That was option A. And she said, kind of option A, but I have values, and then talked in gibberish for the remainder of that short little segment. So when has anybody cared about policy positions on websites? Since forever. It's about policies. You don't get to govern a country on hope, joy, and abortion. It takes a little bit more than that. We got to know what else you think and care about. So there's a kerfuffle that's continuing to happen about this debate that's coming up. ABC News is rejecting Kamala Harris's last-minute attempts to change the rules. And these people are so hypocritical, it's incredible. They were very upset with Trump. He said, I didn't agree to a September 10th debate with you people. I agreed to that with Joe Biden. You stabbed him in the back multiple times, threw him out a window. And now, I'll set new terms with you. Then they threw a hissy fit. What's the difference? They want this timing. It's going to be, I think, right around the time early voting starts, right? This is a little bit later, so early voting should start. They'll get a couple ballots coming in. I think starts September 4th, 6th, something like that. But the point is they wanted the date. They threw a hissy fit about this. Trump's trying to get out of the debate. Oh. He said, fine, weirdos. We were just trying to negotiate new terms with you. Here's 3 options for more debates. One with Fox, one with ABC, and one with NBC. Kamala will not do any of them other than this one because it's with her BFFs over at ABC News. But then they wanted to change the rules because they're little cheaters and they just got done ridiculing Trump for trying to change things. Now they want to change things. Typical. A network email reviewed by The Post lays out similar rules for those that Trump had during his June 27th debate with Biden. No audience, no pre-written notes, no props, and muted mics when a candidate is not speaking. Trump and Harris will be standing on the stage. They will only be allowed to have a pen, a pad of paper, and a bottle of water. No emotional support governors are allowed. The Republican campaign had insisted the debate follow the same rules as with Biden. But Harris's team claimed on Monday that they wanted both candidates' mics on the entire time. And they're throwing a fit about this too. They're saying, well, if Trump wants them on, put them on. A top Trump ally said ABC News had informed both campaigns in writing last week that it would employ the CNN rules. And both had confirmed that September 10th was a go. At this point, Team Harris is going to be taking an L when they finally accept, as the debate rules aren't changing. And they'll take an even bigger L if they back out of the debate because Dana Bash and CNN because the interview goes poorly, that person said. Now, the email that was seen by The Post was sent Tuesday by ABC News Chief Counsel Eric Lieberman. It reiterated the rules and asked the campaigns for their formal acceptance. After The Post reported on the ABC News email on Thursday, Harris spokesman Brian Fallon said the Democrats, quote, have been asked to accept Trump's request to have the muted mics. No, that was the original rule. But expressed frustration and said the Harris team remains in discussion with ABC on the final rules. You guys, they're so pathetic. Just agree to the rules. Your guy set them. You demanded that we have the September 10th debate. Now, our latest understanding is that even though Trump said Monday he would be fine with an unmuted mic, his handlers don't trust him to spar live, right? So they're trying to make this about Trump. They're trying to make and manufacture a reason to get out of this debate and are asking ABC to ignore Trump's comments and keep the mics muted, or else they will back out of the debate for a third time. It's like, you guys are being really weird now. You know what the rules were with Biden. You're trying to change them, and you're trying to say that Trump's trying to change them? We've been asked to accede to Trump's handlers' wishes on this point. For the sake of preserving the debate, we find the Trump team's stance to be weak and remain in discussion with ABC on the final rules. They're so pathetic. Okay, be in discussion with them. We know what the rules were with Joe Biden. So I guess don't show up if you want the mics to be on. Okay, you guys demanded that. Then when Trump tried to renegotiate terms with you, you ridiculed him. Now you're trying to change the terms. They're just pathetic people. This is why when we start asking ourselves, how can they do what they do? It's because even on little things like this, right? You're dealing with like a crazy person. If you tried to have a dinner with somebody, hey, I'm going to order some food. What would you like? We're going to have this, order that. Okay, I'm going to order it. Once I press order, it's not, it's out. It's like, it's going to be here that way. You press, and you say, well, actually, I'm going to change it. They say, shut up and order it. Okay, I'm going to order it. Then you order it. Then they change it. Oh my gosh, I'm living in Psychoville. ABC News has not responded to repeated requests for comments. The Harris folks are completely full of it, said the Trump campaign. Jason Miller said everything was agreed to and set last week. The Harris people are trying to distract and come up with something shiny to move away from the fact that she's not doing interviews. So they're trying to make this Trump refuses to debate thing again. He's like, I'll debate you 3 times. Why don't you debate me on NBC and Fox? Now, it's widely been reported that Harris wants the microphones unmuted so she can say, I'm speaking. Yeah. She did it with Mike Pence, and that made her kind of seem as a sexist or something. Both debate stage quotes were later used on pro-Harris campaign merchandise, right? I'm speaking is what she said. And there was some other line that she said. It's my time. It's my time. It's my time, right? Or whatever that was. I'm reclaiming my time or whatever it is. I'm speaking. Okay. We want you to speak. You're terrible at it. So we want you to do an interview. Why don't you come speak to an interview? Why can't you last more than 18 minutes when you're talking with a fake journalist? It's not that complicated. So they're pushing back. ABC said candidates' microphones in their statement from CNN will be live only when it's their turn to speak, and it's going to be muted when time belongs to another candidate. The rules have been accepted, and Kamala's people are throwing a fit because they're not good at talking. Now, one person who's out there explaining that Kamala has been the president, vice president, and maybe de facto president since Joe Biden is a vegetable for 3.5 years, and her record speaks for itself. Now the American people are getting to know her. Here's what J.D. Vance said out at a campaign rally.
For 3.5 years. And let's be honest, she's practically been the acting president because we all know Joe Biden isn't home. She's been the acting president for 3.5 years in this country, and her citizens are suffering. She should not be feeling joy. She should be feeling shame. And she should be looking herself in the mirror and asking how she could do a better job. And what we have in our campaign, it's not this fake joy of Kamala Harris. It's the very real hope that the best days of this country are ahead of us. And you know why the best days of this country are ahead of us? Because of you. Because we have the best people, we have the best workers, and we have an American president, Donald J. Trump, that is going to run and fight for you. He's going to work for you every single day. But if we want an American president who is equal to the task, and we want an American leader who deserves to be the leader of this great country, it's not going to happen if we sit on our rear ends. We're going to have to work for it. And so what I want you to do is get out there and tell every person you know why you're voting for Donald Trump. Get your friends and your family to the polls. Drive, your elderly folks, your mom, your dad, get them to the polls. Do everything that you can. because while the corrupt media and the bureaucrats and the people who have gotten rich off of American decline, they have chosen their candidate, and it's Kamala Harris. We are the American people, and our candidate is Donald J. Trump. Let's get him across the finish line, and let's do it together. God bless you, and thank you for having me.
Thank you, JD. Nice statement, and I think he's right. We have to get out and vote. We've got to get people to the polls, and we'll be doing that aggressively. So Kamala Harris blows the debate, blows the interview, can't hardly talk, even when given multiple choice questions. That's who the Democrats have selected for their nominee. Amazing. All right. Now, we've got to turn our attention to what's happening in Colorado. There is some wild stuff happening here. And so let's take a look at this one. Kamala Harris, the border czar, left the border so wide open that apparently Venezuelan gangs have now taken over parts of Colorado. It's Venezuela. Venerado. But it's from Fox 5. It says migrants have attempted to not only board school buses in East County, so kids are on the way to school, then become part of an immigration international trafficking operation. And in addition to this, they've also taken over some buildings. So there is Venezuelan gang activity that is out and about. And there was a mayor from Aurora who's explaining that they've actually taken over apartment complexes, going in with weapons to seize the property and then basically take over payments like it's their building now, happening in Aurora, right outside of Denver. So we'll talk about all of it, but let's take a look at what happened with this school bus situation, because you see here, migrants attempted to board school buses, apparently on multiple occasions, saying that 2 school bus routes within the Jamul del Zora Union District were interrupted. Migrants attempted to board them over the last 2 days. The school sent out an email that Fox News picked up. The superintendent of the school said a group of migrants attempted to board the school's A and B bus routes. The first incident occurred along Route A on Tuesday afternoon. According to this person, a group of 3 men were walking in the middle of the highway trying to stop one of the buses, prompting it to go around the group. Okay, so you send your kid off to school. Oh, have a great day at school, honey. Don't forget to eat your lunch and have a great day, tell your homework, Then it's commandeered. A Route B school bus then came upon a group of about 20 people on Wednesday morning as it was picking up students from the same stop. Parents present at the site helped the bus driver ensure the students were safe and that no one boarded the bus. Now, at this time, it's unclear whether the 2 groups are connected. No injuries to the students or anyone else was involved. Additional details about the incidents were not immediately available. Sheriff's Department's aware of this. They're conducting a follow-up. Was this a criminal act? Who knows? Now, Kimberly King was with the Sheriff's Department, says for the safety of our students and bus drivers that buses will drive past stops with migrants nearby, heading directly to the next one on the route. Please stay vigilant. If the bus drives by, please follow the bus to pick up your child at the next stop. All right, so it sounds like they're going to be dodging illegal immigrants now. Do you hear what that is? Said for the safety of students and bus drivers, buses will drive past stops with migrants nearby. So they're going to be dodging illegal immigrants on the roads. So your kids are going to be like in a video game. Just go to the next one. We don't know what to do about this. Just don't pull over. Don't pull over here. There's a bunch of illegals here. So please stay vigilant. If the bus drives by, follow the bus, because that bus stop, it's not your bus stop anymore. Okay, that's their bus stop. So we'll just see you at the next bus stop that is not commandeered by illegals. This afternoon, the superintendent said the district directors of maintenance and operations followed the buses to ensure that everything was quiet in case they get commandeered by the illegal immigrants again. They attempt to board school buses. So that's just part 1. Now, similarly, what we're seeing is that there is gang activity and residents are now feeling like they're living in a third world country in Colorado. So here is one story because there was a Fox News segment that we're going to watch here where they say members of the Venezuelan gang called Tren de Aragua, known as TDA, have caused a complete gang takeover in parts of our city. Like, it's their city now. It's unreal, she said. Residents tell me they feel like they're living in a third world country. The city government attempted to temper some of these assertions. He noted that Aurora police are working with this. We think this is isolated, but let's listen to this insane interview. So this is from America Reports. The mayor of Aurora, his name is Mayor Mike, hopped on with Fox, saying that apartment complexes have been taken over, and it's more than one, and that somebody has apparently sent these illegal, allegedly gang members, into these locations. Where did they come from? The question remains unanswered.
Of Aurora, Colorado. Mayor, thank you very much for coming on with us. It seems it's tough to even get some confirmation of the details of what is going on there. First off, can you confirm whether or not this gang has taken over these buildings there in Aurora?
So there are several buildings actually under the same ownership, out-of-state ownership, that have fallen to these Venezuelan gangs. I'm trying to walk it back and do the investigation as to how there's a concentration of Venezuelans in these three buildings. Somebody put them there, and somebody funded it. Whether it's federal government or not, we're trying to find out who these
Kamala
gangs
Harris
apparently are attracted to where there's a concentration of Venezuelan migrants, and so they've in fact have kind of pushed out the property management through intimidation and then collected the rents.
It's their buildings.
We have now or have had
management.
It is ongoing operations with a task force of local law enforcement, state law enforcement partners, and federal law enforcement partners to root them out. And arrests have been made, but these operations are still ongoing.
With the arrests that have been made, are these confirmed gang-affiliated members?
You know, this is an organized criminal effort. Whether it's Tren de Aragua, that remains to be seen. But it really doesn't matter. I mean, if they're Venezuelan migrants and they're conducting crime in an organized manner, they're a problem.
So, okay, so you're able to confirm that this Venezuelan gang has indeed taken over at least some of the buildings. You're saying at least two of the three. And what I just heard from you is you don't know how they ended up there. And you even made a suggestion that they could have been sent there by federal officials.
Kamala Harris.
I heard you suggest.
Yeah.
I mean, do you have any reason to believe that to be the case?
So here's the problem. I think we're a victim of a failed policy at the southern border because what you have, Venezuela does not according to my law enforcement, Venezuela does not cooperate with the United States in sharing criminal histories. You've had a third of the country leave.
Yeah, why would they? They are just deporting their criminals here. And if they shared their criminal history with us, we'd go, wait a minute. Oh, we see who this guy is. Oh, 35 felonies. Oh, that's very curious, right? And these are pretty serious ones. And you want him to come to our country? Yeah, they do.
We've had these massive waves of migrants coming across the border that many of them crossed the border illegally, were arrested, asked for political asylum, were not adequately vetted, were released into the country. The city of Aurora, we did everything we could to quite frankly keep them out of the city because it's not our problem. This is a federal problem. This is a problem
it's all our
borne by the federal government.
Thank you, government.
But what we're trying to find out, and what I believe occurred, was that federal agencies worked with some of our local nonprofits and put them there. Now, most of these people are very good people. But there's a criminal element that, from what I understand, what law enforcement is briefing me, that often follows them, intends to exploit them within their own migrant community. And so we believe that is happening now. Now, we're the 51st largest city in America with over 400,000 in population. This is only several apartment complexes. Yeah. But nonetheless, I'm not going to surrender any part of this city to a criminal element.
With all due respect, it's no longer, just in the hands of the feds when you've got We've heard reports that this gang has green-lighted its members to attack your local police. What are you doing about that, Mayor?
Well, we're aware of that in the Denver metropolitan area, that there are elements of Tren de Aragua here. And so, we're, in terms of how our police operate, the tactics, what they're doing to protect themselves, is our number one priority.
I mean, I think about how Aurora tried to position themselves versus Denver in all of this, with Denver's the sanctuary city status in a way, correct? And Aurora sort of tried
Denver's historically been a sanctuary city.
Yeah.
Aurora has not. And that's why we took the position again that we were not going to expend any public dollars on this migrant crisis, nor would we be a conduit for state or federal dollars to provide assistance. Not our problem, federal problem, border issue. They need to resolve it, not us. But somehow we got sucked into this, and we are a victim again of this policy.
That somehow is that's a big somehow, and I would expect that you're probably very personally trying to get down to the bottom of that. When we watch this video, we've had this video playing all day on our network. We started airing it obviously earlier today, and our viewers obviously see this and think complete shock that this would be apparently. Have you confirmed that anything about the people on the screen, this building? Can you tell us anything about this video and what we're seeing?
Are they calling the cops? Are they reporting this?
Well, it's that intimidation factor. We've got Venezuelan gang members who have gone into an apartment complex where there's a concentration of Venezuelans and pushed out the property management through intimidation, and now they're intimidating the tenants there to pay them the rent and probably extort other things from them. And so it's a terrible situation.
That's weird.
Certainly not the whole city. It's 3 apartment complexes, but it's very serious nonetheless. And hopefully we're going to be able to. It's hard. What the challenge is, in part, that you have.
If Kamala Harris wants to give him $25,000, I thought they were looking for jobs and just a better life. Is that what the situation here is? What's Kamala's solution to this?
This is unfortunately
Trump
part of
the
fabric of Venezuela, where you have the police in Venezuela are only there to protect the government. They're not there to protect the people. So there's so much criminality.
Wow.
And unfortunately, some of that has come up with the migrants here, and we're confronting it. And so it's again.
Yeah. Just a last question on that point, confronting it. I know you're a busy guy, and I know we'll let you get going because you've got a huge problem to tackle there in Aurora. Just finishing up with this Cookie Monster gang leader, so he's called. Okay. The New York Post has reported on him setting up operations right there in your town, Mayor. Cookie Monster is there. I mean, this guy's responsible for some heinous crimes. I mean, what are you actively doing right now to get a hold of him?
Cookie Monster is this guy's name. His name is Gianardi Jose Pacheco Chirino. November 2023, allegedly took part in a brutal assault at Fitzsimmons Place apartment complex in Aurora. Brutal assault at an apartment. March 2024, was arrested and charged with several felony assault charges, but bailed out of custody, right? Made a cash bail, posted bond, and then didn't show up in court. Failure to appear, gone. Arrest warrant issued, doesn't care. Then July, not long ago, last month, says arrested for allegedly carrying out a shooting at the same apartment where the previous assault occurred. So the cops arrested him again. And if this dude is not in custody, that's insane. If he's out of custody, that's insane, okay? Because what you have already is a failure to appear. Like, that would not fly in Arizona. You have a failure to appear, and then you bond out again. Like, this guy's out on the streets again. You can have post bond, don't show up in court, and then you get arrested again. Whew.
And arrest him.
He's been arrested. He's off the street.
That would be news. He's gone. He's off the street. Where is he?
Right.
Okay, there you go.
He's being held. He's being held. He's
okay, good. See, as I said, it would be insane if he was out. Yeah.
Apprehended.
Good.
I would imagine he'd be a huge source of information as to how this gang ended up in your town.
Glad they arrested him.
Well, I think it's beyond that. It's how did this whole community end up in our town? Because I'm concerned beyond the gang issue. There's a secondary issue. In the secondary issue, desperate people do desperate things, and you've got this all these migrants coming up. The Venezuelan migrants don't have access to, they have a legal status in the country pending their asylum claims, but they don't have access to a work permit for 6 months after they're here.
Wow.
And so there are some secondary issues that we're real concerned about. But right now, the priority is this gang issue.
And the feds are involved, correct?
The feds are involved.
Got it. Mayor,
law enforcement is involved. Law enforcement is involved.
I understand. Mayor, we appreciate you coming on. People have a lot of questions over what they're seeing right there in your town.
Sure.
And we've
buildings seized by Venezuelan gangs. Absolutely nuts. Addressing this, Luby, who is Ryan Luby, he's a city spokesman. He says, we're aware that the Tren de Agua is operating in Aurora. APD has been increasingly collecting evidence to show how the gang is connected to crimes in the area. But I'm going to decline to make any conclusory statements about specific incidents or provide evidence about our strategy. Addressing the claims of gang takeovers, Luby told the Sentinel that individual council members are able to share their thoughts on any issue, but do not speak for the city as a whole. They too said that they're unaware of any Denver apartment buildings being commandeered by gang members. Said there are reasons to believe that members of this gang are tied to crimes in the area. However, Denver PD is not aware of any apartment buildings being, quote, taken over by this gang in Denver. With the influx of some 40,000 Venezuelan migrants, 40,000 people into Metro Denver, illegals, and presumably, right? I'm guessing migrants is that term that they're using. In the last 2 years, have come claims about gang activity in certain Aurora residents. 40,000 people just dropped into a city. Now, some, for example, allegedly exaggerated the level of violence and lawlessness at a meetup. And some others, without evidence, attributed the city's shutdown to the presence of gang members, right? A lot of people are saying they're covering this up too. Like this is much worse than it actually is. At least 3 city council members have said they do not believe their city's own staffers for forcing people out of buildings. Aurora police have repeatedly pushed back against the claims of rogue gangs. Says, I don't think Venezuelan gangs are a big safety concern for Aurora, Chris Jewell, the acting deputy police, said earlier this month. Okay, well, looks like they've got 3 buildings, according to the mayor. So that guy done goofed on that statement. But coming soon to a city near you, because Kamala Harris and the Democrats have completely failed to secure the border. And we now have Karoline Leavitt, who's explaining this. She was appointed to handle the border. The media called her the border czar. Axios called her the border czar. She was responsible for the border, failed dramatically. And now they're trying to evaporate that memory.
Thanks so much for being with us. So how do you explain now that Vice President Harris is seen as perhaps the candidate of change?
Well, thank you so much for having me, John. And it is our goal over the next several weeks ahead of Election Day to ensure that voters understand Kamala Harris is not the candidate of change, nor is she the candidate of the future. Kamala Harris is the Vice President of the United States right now, and she is wholly responsible for the failures over the past 4 years. Kamala Harris said she was proud of Bidenomics, which has ushered the worst inflation crisis in a generation. Kamala Harris was named the border czar and has allowed an open border policy of more than 11 million illegal people into our country that has caused a migrant crime epidemic across our nation as well. Kamala Harris does not deserve a promotion. She deserves a demotion. And unlike Kamala Harris, President Trump has a strong record in his first term as president where he secured the border, unleashed the might of our energy industry, ushered peace around this world. And that's our case to make to voters across the country.
There's more domestic energy production right now than there's ever been in U.S. history, and Kamala Harris was not the border czar. She was appointed to deal with the Northern Triangle. But let me ask you a follow-up to my initial question here. Even if what you say, taking your argument there, if the voters in all these states are seeing the vice president as the candidate of change, does it tell you that maybe they are beginning to see a Republican nominee who's 78 years old and been running for president for 9 years? Is that beginning to have an impact?
Well, just two things on your earlier points. Kamala Harris was named the border czar. She was appointed by Joe Biden in that position. And the truth is the border has been a complete disaster. Everyone recognizes that. And energy prices, gasoline prices are still 50% higher today under Kamala Harris than they were under President Trump. And if you look further and deeper into these polls, if you look at the issues that matter to voters, like immigration, like the economy, like foreign policy, where we've seen war erupt all over this world under Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, voters trust Donald Trump on those issues. They trust him because he, again, has a first-term record to stand on. And you brought up Donald Trump's age, so I do want to mention it. This race is not about age. It's about competence. And President Trump has proven to be a leader who can bring stability back to this world, who can bring peace through this world, who can make America strong again. And that's why voters trust him on the issues that matter.
She was not appointed the border czar. She was appointed to deal with the Northern Triangle.
That's what Axios said there, CNN. She absolutely
was.
You
say Donald Trump is the candidate of stability.
Yeah, she was. They're so pathetic. They don't have anything from Kamala's record to point to. Her record is so bad that they actually have to delete stuff off of it. If you had a great record, a tremendous record, because you were a historic, competent, capable candidate who could actually talk, you had great values, good ideas, and a record of delivering solutions, you would talk about those things. They don't have it. Okay, well, okay. So if she was not the border czar and she was in charge of the Northern Triangle, how'd she do? Did she stop Venezuela and Guatemala and all of these other countries in South America and Central America from immigrating? No, she failed at that too. So they're going to fight over the label, but the fact is the border is a disaster. And now Kamala's going to have to explain herself. And she's getting prepared for a debate. And the debate prep is being led by apparently a Google lawyer, Google's top lawyer. And there's a question about this lawyer's conflict of interest because they work for Google. And here's this little summary here of what's going on.
She helped prepare then Senator Harris in 2020 for her debate against then VP Mike Pence. Now the New York Times, Bloomberg, and Washington Post all report she's back helping the Harris campaign. One former DOJ official said to think of it this way. Kamala Harris is against monopolies, yet she's taking debate advice from the lead attorney for one of the largest in the country, Google. Here's the head of an agency that tracks ethics issues on both sides of the aisle. Watch.
It's problematic that Karen Dunn has the ability to potentially get the next president of the country on the phone at a moment's notice. And she might also be negotiating on behalf of Google with the Justice Department in a few months.
Now, Fox News reached out to the Harris campaign about Dunn's reported debate prep gig. We did not hear back. We also reached out to Karen Dunn directly, have yet to hear back. One attorney told me the only ethics hurdle would now be for Dunn to tell Google that she was advising Harris. Google goes to trial against the U.S. in just a few weeks, presenting just another question, because that's when the debate's going to be happening. That's when the trial kicks off. It's expected, though, to last many weeks. Dana.
Yeah. Remember, Google has all of those glitches that always seemingly are adversarial to President Trump. They always suddenly happen right when there is an assassination. Then you can't find anything about the assassination because that's going to make Trump look sympathetic, and that's bad for their side. So Kamala responsible for the border, Venezuelan gangs taking over Colorado and other parts of the country, coming soon to a town near you. If Kamala wins, we're going to be here continuing to cover it, my friends. Thank you so much for subscribing wherever it is you're watching this. Thank you so much for liking this video, for inviting a friend or family member to come over here and hang out with us when we go live. It's better when we do it together. You can tell them that. And we'll see you back here on the next one. All right, my friends. Now, let's see what you say about all of this. We had some good stuff. We got some clips of Kamala, who was out there. The interview should be dropping any minute now. And that's going to be interesting. We also saw Some updates in the polls. Things are shifting back in favor of Trump. We're excited about that. Kamala still whining and complaining about microphones, even though her presidential candidate wanted them off. And Colorado has now fallen. Let's see what you have to say about this, my friends. It's a beautiful day. It's an amazing Thursday. And we got some very generous donos. Thank you so much for sending these in. Let's see who is here. Hey, look at this one. This one's a fun one. Yeah, I don't know who this is. Lucas and Friends. Oh, look at this one. Oh, Lucas and Friends. One more day to Friday. That's a real happy lion. What's up? Caddy Did. What's up, Caddy Did? Welcome aboard as a new supporter. Grab that members only stream from this morning. It was a good stream from this morning. We had a lot of fun. Former LEO is on Locals. You can join us on Locals in the link below. Says, crazy times. I was driving up towards Yosemite for my annual checkup, and every punk in the world was heading to Yosemite. Hard to believe that I'm sitting in traffic trying to get to my appointment while drinking a 24-ounce mug of coffee. So I get there late. First thing they do is check my blood pressure, 186/90. Whew. So the nurse asks me, how was traffic? I tell her, it was rough. She says, okay, just wait a few minutes. 5 minutes later, it was 136/60. I just needed some decompressio. I hate Taurus and holiday. Yeah. There's some good affirmations for traffic out there. You can actually reprogram yourself a little bit. And in traffic, I hate traffic, but I hate it also. Drives me nuts. I don't like to wait. I like to just be efficient in between tasks, and driving around is usually very difficult. But I'm changing my story about it. I don't mind traffic. I just said I hate traffic. No, you don't. I don't mind it at all. It gives me plenty of time to sit there and enjoy a nice audiobook and a moment of quiet reprieve for me to just saturate my neocortex with all sorts of new knowledge that I otherwise wouldn't pack in there. Trying to stay positive, but traffic does suck. What's up, Spuds? Says, if Cammie is so concerned about CO2 emissions, maybe she should stop speaking. Maybe she should stop speaking. One old guy's opinions, says Timmy the Tampon. No balls, Walz. And Commie Comrade Kamala, Trip K, which is the KKK. Harris, they got no policies but Marxism and demonism. Yeah, abortion, war, Marxism, and genital sacrifice to Satan. What's going on? Chubby Stubby is in the house. Says, DB, would you take a Republican on your cabinet, Kamala Harris? Well, with my staff turnover rates, beggars can't be choosers. I'll take anyone who's willing to listen to me, cackle. Yeah, she even has Secret Service agents who have lost their minds because they had to protect her. And they just lost it, totally lost it. All right, James Butler. The Butler's coming in, says, did you call? What's up, James Butler in the house? Thank you, James. Bringing in 10 new membos. Space Babies coming in, courtesy of James. Cloud99 in the house. Rebecca Everett. We got TC's joining us. Ben Neely, Carrie Who's a What's It, TPP Luke, what's up, Christian Pometko, and Jill Kraft, all joining us, courtesy of James Butler in the house. Thank you, James. And welcome aboard, new friends. Grab those membos. Grab that members only morning stream this morning. And my friends, what's up? Philip Butler's here. Says she can't lie about Trump's race change comments. Well, there are people who are asking about this, right? We've seen Don Lemon on the street with talking to other real black people. And they said the same thing. We remember one woman said, yeah, I'm not real sure what she is. Well, it's an interesting question. I don't think Kamala knows. Stacy Milliken. What's up, Stacy Milliken? Says, please, please vote. Don't assume we are good. We need every vote. Make it a party. That's what we're doing here in Connecticut. Yeah, absolutely right. Yeah, we're thinking about how we can do that, right? What's the energy levels that we need to reach so that we all drag people to the polls willingly? How many can we commit to? 10? 3? 5? 50? Calling everyone you know. Let's go vote. The Blind Lawyer says, for polling information, look up Richard Barris, People's Pundit. He is better than Nate Silver, explains bias polling and polling errors. Yeah, he's great. Yeah, he's great. We like Richard Barris a lot. Follow him on X, and he does good work. We recommend him. What's up? Stacy Milliken says, give a shout out to Chris. Hey, what's up, Chris? He's fixing your car. Man, Chris, that's huge. Coming in clutch. Maybe even fixing a clutch. You know what I'm saying? Well done, Chris. We need our cars to work. So does Stacy. Stacy is going to be highly indebted to you. So thank you, Chris, for fixing that car for Stacy. One old guy's opinions says, Comrade, Commie, Kamala, Triple K, KKK, and Harry, Timmy, the tampon, no balls, Walz are the best examples of DEI hires, given that Timmy, the tampon, and Triple K are both like Simple Jack from Tropic Thunder. You never go full Kamala. Never. You'll never recover. And it's very damaging. You never go full Kamala. And what we liked about that film is that Jack Black represented Tim Walz, and we also know that Robert Downey Jr. played Kamala Harris. Matt Ostrander says that's a band room, okay? Marching band is my guess. That sounds about right. That looked about right. I wasn't in a marching band or a band. Are they slow? Are they a little, like off? Is that why she was talking to them that way? Anybody in band? Are you here? Did they have to? Yeah. Is that why? I don't think so. I'm pretty sure I knew people in band and you could talk to them normally. Pretty sure. I don't know. Hey, Max Deplorable. What's up? OMG, those poor high school kids had to sit there and not bust out laughing. I hear Kamala mastered playing. Whoa, we'll leave that one alone. What's up, Max Deplorable? Great to see you. Dawson. Hey, I was in the marching band. Oh, yeah? Did you understand what Kamala was saying? Or was that, I'm just teasing our marching band friends. We love our band friends, man. What's up? The band kids. We tried to be in a band. We tried to start a band in middle school. It was terrible. We sucked. We were terrible. It was wild. We tried to try out for the talent show. We tried out for the talent show, our band. I think we played Nirvana, Smells Like Teen Spirit, I think. It was terrible. In our audition, our drummer dropped the stick. I was playing guitar and he dropped the stick and we all just froze. We all just stood there like idiots. It was hilarious. It was hysterical. Honestly, they should have brought us out as a comedy routine. That's how terrible it was. It was the best. What's up, David Webb? Thanks for becoming a supporter, my man. We'll see you on the members only morning stream. What's up, Sheila the Pooh? A million hugs to you in the house. We got Darlene Archambault coming in, courtesy of Sheila Pooh. We got Jennifer Gray, Nerol Anonymous in the house, Love and Pain, and Janie Cavender in the house. Gifted membos, courtesy of Sheila Pooh. A million hugs to you. Thank you, Sheila. Amazing. What's up? One old guy's opinions says Commie, Comrade, Kamala, Triple K would cup the balls, but Walz got no balls. Oh, gosh. All right. Thank you, one old guy. Hey, Knox says, happy Thursday, all. Someone should explain the government to Kamala or maybe sing, I'm just a bill on Capitol Hill to her. That bill was vetoed and the $61 billion gift to Ukraine, Israel, Taiwan was passed. The bipartisan bill was dead in the House. From Knox. Well, she's... You think she can read a bill? A full bill? It's pretty nice there, Knox. A lot of faith in that one. Hey, Alan Harkin. What's up, Alan? So great to see you, brother. Thank you for this. Says, excellent show as always. Your content is always right on time, current, important, detailed, explained, and thoughtful, easy to grasp terms. Always a pleasure when viewing your work. Alan Harkin. What a nice comment. Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. We try to be timely also. We try to be on time, sometimes we're a little late. If it's a minute late, I start getting mad at myself. So thank you, Alan, for noticing. I appreciate that, brother. Thanks for being a membo on Local. Thanks for sending in an awesome dono. We appreciate you. One old guy's opinion says, Commie, Comrade, Kamala is familiar to that exit removal process. V is never silent says, just realized they aren't very many clips out there from The Apprentice show. Is that right? I didn't know. Yeah, I didn't watch that show when I was coming up. And I don't know if I was too young or whatever. I don't know what. I never watched it. I kind of wish I would have now. I would know even more about Trump and that story, but I never watched it. And I haven't seen many clips of it. I guess you're kind of right. Glocky says, if you watch the movie 999 with Casey Affleck, where the cop, it's a pretty good movie. Shows how MS-13 has taken over neighborhoods and apartments in Atlanta. In the movie, they even get into a massive shootout raiding one. Life imitating art, or is art imitating life? Patty B Photography, what's up? Says, I live near this. Jamul is pronounced Hamul. Okay, so the J is like an H. Hamul in the house. Good to see you. Ollie is here. What's up? Ollie is bringing in new membos. What's up? That was a good one. Ollie is bringing in Lucidin and Lucy Park and Robert Surfer. Welcome aboard, American Dreamers in the house, and Moments Divine gifted membos, courtesy of Ollie in the house. Hey, this one is a funny one. An AI image from Glocky says, are the reporters gone yet? So Kamala can come out because she's so scared. One old guy says, Commie, California, illegal aliens, haven. Yeah, that's no doubt about that. Yeah, it is an illegal alien haven. Don Goff is in the house. What's up, Don Goff? Don Goff, we got a nice GIF here for Don Goff. That guy's name is Goff. Don't know if it's Don or not, but he's an NFL player. That's cool. Says, hey, what's up? 5 membos coming in courtesy of Don. Kansas Mama, welcome. Nurture Ba, Death by Chocolate, Wayne Ross, and Copious Cookies in the house. Welcome aboard. Copious Cookies, not to be confused with the Cookie Monster from the show. Don Goff, thank you for bringing in 5 new membos. We appreciate you, brother. We got this one from John Libby. Isn't that considered profiling and discrimination by the bus drivers? Yeah, I mean, if I'm sure if they wanted to sue them or something, yeah. How do they know it's not just 2 neighbors standing out close talking? Yeah, it's true. I mean, if you ask Karine Jean-Pierre about that, or Kamala about it, what do you mean you're just driving by people who are on the side of the road? You're just driving by them to avoid them? Yeah, it's total racism and bigotry. Now, you have to do that in order to save your children from being apprehended by illegal traffickers, but that's for everyone to make a decision on their own. What's up? NY says, I don't have children, but it's almost primal to protect children. It's the virtue signal of being a sanctuary city. Is it more important than children? My opinion is this is shameful. One old guy says, all the people in Commie, Colorado are too high on weed to understand they effed up their state. Cool, bro. We got more Mexicans for better munchie control. Bro, those aren't Mexicans. I don't know what that means exactly. I don't know how that relates to weed. Anyways, but yeah, Colorado has shifted dramatically. Colorado is wild. I don't know what they're doing over there. I'm trying to understand how immigration connects to... they're just too high, I guess. They're just too... So they don't care about illegal immigration? Is that the point? What's up? Stacy Milliken says, thank you, Rob, for bringing us all together. Thank you for that, Stacy. Thanks for being here. We wouldn't be together if you weren't here with us, together with us. So thanks for that. Knox says, listen to this guy's recording. And I did pull that up, Knox. I know he's dropping kind of the N-bomb in here. This is what it looks like. This is the scene. And, there's some profanity, so we won't play the audio, but they said this is from Aurora, Colorado. The Venezuelans are just taking over, apparently. That's the scene. And wild. Yeah, it's wild times out there. Thank you, Knox, for the link. This one came in from Former. Says, in this country, illegally, we cut off your... I don't think we do that. Return after... All right, what's up? We got Stupid Name says, if you want good info and explanation on polls, speak with Richard Barris, the People's Pundit. Shout out to Richard Barris. NY says, this is a Willie Horton level news item with the Venezuelan gangs in Colorado. From NY. Good to see you, NY. Chad Brummett, what's up on YouTube, says, this should be declared an invasion, and for any illegals internal to our border invading places en masse, consider this military and use National Guard. Assume this is not a foul of Posse Comitatus. Yeah, Stacy Milliken says it's an invasion. And we'll see. I mean, at some point, it might actually come to that. And then what happens if they don't leave? What happens if they say no? This is ours now. And then our local cops get into shooting matches with them now? Let's see. Hey, what's up? Sheila Poo, 1,000,000 hugs to you. Bringing in 5 membos. Cyrilla B, Jedi U2, Patricia P, another user, and J.H. Schalbach, gifted membos, courtesy of Sheila Poo. Thank you, Sheila, and welcome aboard, new membos. New members, grab that members-only morning stream. And if you're a YouTube member, grab the private Telegram link if you want to join us for our after party, which is where we will be heading very shortly. We got Chad Brummett in the house. Says, she's addressing root causes. They're coming for our great economy. She's destroying the incentive. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, she's going to wreck the economy, and then people won't want to come here. Oh, Kamala's so smart. She's like, I'm going to solve this immigration problem. Everybody in America is going to be starving to death. Then who's going to want to come here? Pretty good. Pretty smart. Hey, what's up? West Virginia Sniper. Membo for 3 months says House Resolution 253 calls her the borders are. And I don't recall that one, but that's a curious one. Yeah. Hey, what's up? Jennifer says, hey, everybody, please make sure y'all are still subscribed. Almost to 400K, baby. Thank you, Jennifer. And then Jennifer sent this one. Never mind. Congrats, Rob. Thank you, Jennifer. Hey, we did it, my friends. We did it. We crossed 400K. K-Bean modding the fort down for us for 30 months. Been amazing helping us get there. Thank you, K-Bean. And thank you to everybody who subscribed. Woo, that's a nice number. Very grateful to have you. Thank you so much. And it's amazing. Yeah, it's really amazing. Thank you, KB. You've been here for 30 months. I mean, gosh, you've seen it go from what to what, a lot less to where we're at now. So thank you for that, KB. And thank you, Jennifer. And thanks for everybody who's here subscribing and being a part of it all. You guys are amazing. What's up? Voice of the People brought in 5 new membos as well. Spacey 11 is coming in, Rambling Ryan, Dehydrated Nurse, Fire Salamander, and Esmeralda Real. Gifted membos courtesy of Voice of the People coming in the house. And by the way, Voice of the People and Off Label Podcast are having a stream tonight, 5 p.m. Pacific time. So as soon as we're done here, head on over, go to Off Label Podcast and join Voice of the People and others. Stacy Milliken is saying, where do we go at 9:30? It's Off Label Podcast, baby. So head on over there. It's going to be a great show. Michael O'Grady says, hey, thanks for smashing that like button. If you want to hear more words like transmogrified, that's true. If you enjoy those words, there's more where that came from, baby. Transmogrified is a good one. I like that one. I need to work that one in a lot more. Hey, Philip B says, you can't frack if they don't let you drill. Well, Kamala's going to have to explain that. I don't think she really understands the difference between any of those words. We'll see if she does. Hey, what's up, Patty Mills? Says, OMG, Robert, your commentary has me rolling on the floor laughing right now. Thanks so much. Thank you, Patty Mills. I don't know what we were just talking about earlier, but it was pretty funny. I forget what it was. I can't even remember. Oh, was it our band? Oh, yeah, I was dying over our band. Oh, my gosh, it was pathetic. I can't wait. I should reach out to those guys, see what they're doing now. Oh, it's just amazing. What's up, Patty Mills? Patty, thank you for the nice dono. Yeah, it was a fun show today. Thank you, Patty Mills, for that. Really appreciate you being here and for supporting us and being an amazing membo and having fun with us. It's just, what a time. Hey, Christy Cat says, Rob, always love you and your show and the people in this podcast. That's true. We have the best community here. What if the people of Aurora took matters into their own hands and did something about these Venezuelans? I know it's not the right thing to do, but what do we do? Well, it's a great question. It's an existential question. What happens when law enforcement can't protect you anymore? Or they won't protect you anymore? What are you supposed to do? Right, a lot of stuff happens. Now you ask yourself, are we reverting into a natural law environment, or are you still in an environment where you're adhering to the stated law, or is it a natural law situation? What happens? And if they can't protect you against these people, does that mean they can't prosecute you if you take matters into your own hand, or is that not how it's going to be? In other words, is there selective enforcement? Will they allow this criminality to happen because they're actually trying to wreck your country? So if you're a citizen and you fight back, you get prosecuted. Like, for example, we saw with the subway the subway defendant, and his name is escaping me, Kyle, I believe. He was, right, trying to defend others from imminent harm, and he's being prosecuted. So if that double standard exists, the question becomes, does the state have the capacity to prosecute you, even though they don't have the capacity to defend you against actual criminals? Because you're easier to prosecute. You're a lone individual. It's much easier to prosecute Christy Katz as an individual who might be a symbol for a cause than it is to prosecute 40,000 Venezuelans. That's kind of, you know, they have strength in numbers. We don't, because we're not allowed to organize also, because they call us Nazis if we do. So yeah, it's going to be a question that we hopefully don't have to face, but it's an interesting one. And there's a lot of theories on how this can go. It's the slow degradation of society, but we're asking ourselves about state capacity and selective enforcement. Those are going to be big issues. Esther Shugart, hello. My husband worked on the border wall. What's up, Esther? Says, a stroke of Biden's pen, he was unemployed. Kamala stood there and clapped. It's nonsense. It's nonsense that she wants one. Yeah, it's terrible, Esther. Sorry to hear that. It was idiotic. And now they're going to come back and try to blame that on Trump, that it's his fault. It was all, there's literal stacks of metal that are just sitting there rotting and rusting away at the border because they're not doing anything about it. And then they're going to blame the Republicans. One old guy's opinions says everyone seems to equate crossing the border to everyone being Mexican. So people think someone with a Spanish surname is Mexican. Oh, I see what you're saying. I think you're clarifying that other comment. Yeah. Anyways. Yeah, it's interesting. You know, I've been in Arizona my whole life, so I don't know that it equates here. We know pretty well that it's a whole panoply of individuals coming across from everywhere. But I wonder in different parts of the country, it's like, what does illegal immigration actually, you know, feel like or look like? Interesting. What's up, Randall? Randall Jenkins is here. Bringing in 5 membos. Thank you, Randall Jenkins. She Will is coming in. Carol Warren, Carol Tatum, harpist from Austin. That sounds awesome. Harps are pretty cool, no doubt, especially the giant ones. Chippewa Joe. What's up, Chippewa Joe? And Awakening Wonder, gifted membos, courtesy of our friend Randall Jenkins in the house. Hey, what's going on, Old School? Is a membo. Welcome aboard, Old School. Thanks for becoming a supporter. Very grateful to have you on board. We've got, oh my goodness, look at this one from Facts Matter. What the heck is this? We got 50 membos coming in. Let's see. We got 50 membos from Facts Matters. Wow, that is just amazing. Let me see here. Yeah, I guess it's not clipping the names, huh? That's curious. Okay, so Facts Matter brought 50 membos in. I don't know who all 50 are. I'd love to read all 50 of them, but my friends, looks like YouTube didn't clip it. But Facts, thanks for doing that. And welcome aboard 50 new members. How generous is that? Facts says, what a nice comment. 24 months as a membo, 2 full years, my goodness. Says to 500K we go, baby. Let's go to the moon. We want to get to 1 million, no doubt about it. That's like a real nice number. 500,000 is good. Obviously, we need to get there before we get to 1 million. I'm pretty sure that's how it works. I'm terrible at math, but we'll see. But thank you, Facts. It's awesome. I mean, it's really awesome. I don't even know what to say. I'm just like, I love you guys. I just love you guys. I love you. Hey, what's up, Old School? Hey, what's up? Have you ever looked into the Wisconsin John Doe investigations from a decade ago and how they inspired the Dems' current lawfare? No, I haven't. I'm not familiar with that. I don't even know what I would look for that. But the Democrats engage in lawfare nonstop. And it's been confirmed by RFK, Nicole Shanahan, Jill Stein, Cornel West, and the rest of them. Thank you, Old School. Joe says, hey, thanks for the 5 spot, Joe. You are the best, and you're my favorite viewer. I love you. Wow. That's true. It's true. This is not a super chat from Joe. These are my original words that I'm not reading from the screen. Thanks for the $5, Joe. You are the best and you're my favorite viewer. I love you. Of my own volitional being. Thank you, Joe, for the dono. Hey, what's up? Facts matter. We got some names here that have come in. Some of these came in. Hey, what's up? Digga in the house. Lisa T. Michelle's here. Lotus Blossom. We got Kanaloa Jones, Alex Bauman, Jennifer Condi's in the house, and many more, courtesy of Facts Matter. Oh my goodness. Look, Donut's clipping these for us. We got Smoke in the Water. Thank you, Donut. We got Janella Rella, Todd Loop, Al Bangel, R. Bruggeman, Minimal Knowledge, Mr. Twister, Summer Walkabout, Wrestler Town, Daughter of the King of Kings, Rita, and Heath Darby. Gifted membos, courtesy of our friend Facts Matter. Thank you, Facts, for bringing new membos in. Just amazing. And Bill Street says 59 new membos. Thank you, Bill Streets. Membo for 4 months. Fist pump and America. Fight, 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 baby. Good to see you, Bill Streets. Hey, this one came in from John, clipped from John McGarvey on Locals from Milo Phone Bill. He says the Tren de Aragua gang is also in Chicago and New York City too. That's great. Yeah, just setting up shop, setting up franchises. Maybe it'll be their town soon. It's really a concern. Hey, Randall Jenkins says Canada's Liberal Party are reducing the open border since they are losing liberal strongholds. They're doing the century plan to destroy the country, from Randall. Hey, that's interesting. In Canada, yeah, they're doing that here in America too. I think we've got similar people who are actually running things between the two countries, unfortunately, and neither of them have our interests at heart in mind. What's up, my friends? Thank you so much for those amazing donos. Thanks for everybody who was here with us today as we cross that beautiful threshold. Let's say hello to our friends on X. We got BitTorrent is over there. Hey, here's James Pepper, Family Guy, singing I'm Just a Bill. And what's going on over here? Your Telegram is about to vanish. What is this? From BTorn. Is that an old channel? James Pepper, what's up? Gen X is over there. What's up, Gen X? Oh my goodness. Look at this puppy from Gen X. Look at this upside down puppy. Amazing. Hey, what is this comment? Lisa T. What's up, Lisa T? Says, my 98-year-old mom loves you. Shout out to Mama of Lisa T. Lisa T's mama in the house. We love you, Lisa T's mama. Thank you for watching the show. Amazing to have you here. Did you see this puppy? Check this puppy out. Lisa T's mama. Great to see you. A beautiful pup in the house. And let's see. Yeah, what's up? Jake Guptill's in the house. And here's another one. The John Doe prosecutions were wild. That's what Barb Schaefer says. No, I'm not familiar with those at all. Thanks for the link. Thanks for dropping that link over there. Yeah, looks like a good one. Okay, so my friends, that is going to be it for us on the day. We are going to go over to watchingthewatchers.locals.com right now for our members only after party. We're going to hang out there for a bit. New membos, welcome. We got Sharon Porter is coming in. Rebecca Glasgow, Nicholas in the house, Zach J, Jody Williams, the Right Honorable I Told You So came in, Catherine Harvey, Lactonic, Dagny Taggart's here from that book called Atlas Shrugged, Lamberto Figueroa, Lord Vitae, XRP Panic, and Feline Fun, gifted membos, courtesy of our friend Facts Matter. 50 membos coming in. Thanks for that, Facts. Hey, what's up? One old guy says, most don't time to understand that not all people from the south of the border are anything like the stereotype. Plug in people smoking weed, then the weed goggles skew your reasoning, says one old guy's opinions. Thanks for the clarity on that, one old guy. Border's a complicated issue, no doubt. NY says, all right, so the United States has no biz in weighing in on other countries' elections anymore, considering Dem lawfare. Meanwhile, in France, they had an election. Macron's party didn't come in the top two, and Macron's guy is still the prime minister. Well, I think France is pretty gone, along with England and maybe America, owned by Venezuela now, I guess. We're going to wrap it up on the beautiful day, my friends. We are going over to watchingthewatchers.locals.com. Before we do, we want to welcome these new membos aboard. Sup, Forrest G's coming in. Ike Swank is here. Nightman's wife. Frazzle says, Cat Mama, Trina Wright, Aubrey de Beliqui, Jen McDavid, A Boy and His Dog, Shane Rochester, Chalky 8, James Chansey, welcome, Margaret Schaff, and Swamp Saga City. Gifted members, courtesy of Facts Matter Facts. Thanks for bringing in 50 membos. And new 50 membos, if you're a new YouTube member and you want to join us on the after party, grab the private Telegram link. So on the community, on the web page, on YouTube, on the YouTube channel, click the community tab, grab the Telegram link, install the Telegram link, and the video chat will continue on over there. What's up? Barbara With over on Rumble says, I filed a complaint with the Wisconsin DOJ in 2011 after being a whistleblower for the Wisconsin Supreme Court recount. I wrote a book called Steal This Book, Not My Vote. Then John Doe's came out and followed my complaint. Wow, that's interesting. So that sounds like a good one. If you're interested in this topic, Steal This Book, Not My Vote. It's a good name for a book. Thank you, Barbara. Thanks for doing the work on it and for sharing that with us. Thanks for watching the show. We appreciate that. Hey, Bonnie says, copycat. Liz Cheney or Raskin? Harris says she'll put a Republican in her cabinet if elected. Yeah, it's a great one. Liz Cheney. Raskin, I don't think is a Republican. He is a through and through Democrat, but Cheney or Kinzinger, I think, is probably one of the two picks. And I'm surprised she didn't say that, actually. Well, you know, Liz Cheney, that would have been a good answer from her. Well, I think Liz Cheney's done heroic work on protecting American democracy, and she was formidable in standing up for our country during its tumultuous transition. She investigated, and I think American people would be served well with Liz Cheney. We'd all throw our guts out if that happened, but it's not gonna, because we're gonna win the election, obviously. All right, so my friends, we're heading on over to watchingthewatchers.locals.com. We would absolutely love to have you come and join us. Before we wrap it up and head on over there, we want to thank our mods, the amazing K Bean, the incredible Donut Mind Me, the always appreciated John McGarvey. We got Just Cause, Play and Hooky, Ronnie Cole, Zach Nichols, Janek, Dog Digger, Economy Pilot, Carrie B helping out, and our friend Zulu, modding the fort down for us, keeping things so nice and beautiful and orderly. But that, my friends, is going to be it for us on the day. We are going over to locals. YouTube friends, grab us on Telegram. Members will be back in the morning to get into it again. Otherwise, that's where we're going to leave it on the day. Tomorrow, we will be back here to do it all again. And in order to do it appropriately and properly, we're going to need to see you right back here so that together, with your help, we can shine that big, beautiful spotlight of accountability and transparency down upon our system with the hope of finding justice. Make it a beautiful night, my friends. Sleep very well. I'll see you right back here tomorrow. Bye-bye.